So what's the role of the ASC in the project?
ASC? Well, very little at this stage. ASC obviously has, as you will be aware, the government split ASC into three companies. ASC Shipbuilding, ASC Collins Sustainment and the Australian National Infrastructure Company. We're working with ASC to, and they're assisting us with looking at the facilities requirements and upgrades. We're working with ASC with respect to a controlled measure of transfer of personnel from one entity to the next. ASC has obviously done a fair amount of work in terms of a ramp down process for their workforce. We're obviously doing a lot of work with a ramp up process, and we're working together with the two companies.
Is it your intention to actually act as the builder rather than just the designer of the vessels?
Yes.
And so will ASC actually be involved as builders?
No.
So what role will they play in the future submarine program?
Well, quite simply, from our perspective, ASC will be consumed by DCNS.
You'll consume them?
Yep.
I see. And is that the basis for your concerns were expressed in the financial review about companies raiding each other's workers?
Yeah, it was, to answer that question, obviously everyone in the committee is aware of the fact that we've got a submarine construction facility that's been built, which will take, a considerable large amount of workers. We've got a ship construction facility that's going to be constructed in Adelaide at Tech Port, and we've got the offshore patrol vessel. There's going to be quite a large workforce in that area, and it makes good business sense and good logical sense that all entities involved in that process come up with an ability so that we don't end up with having people hopping over the fence to get different pay rises or things like that. We need to work together to make sure that the resources are managed appropriately.
So are you advertising for people at the moment?
Yes, we are.
And what sort of areas?
At the moment, we're looking at some procurement people in particular. That's obviously a very large task for DCS Australia. We're looking at the first group of Australian design engineers that will be transferred to France in November this year. So there's some 7 design engineers that we're looking for there. We're also looking at program management experts and engineer and technical type people. And plus, we've obviously got a company to set up, so we do need some administrative support and that sort of thing.
You've got senior naval architects, naval architect I see here, platform systems leads. These are the sort of positions that you're... Commercial managers, commercial advisors. Are you talking to ASC about any of those types?
Yeah, I've had a very long relationship with Stuart Wiley, the acting CEO of ASC. One of the commitments that we've given to the Department of Defence is that we will not impact on Collins Sustainment in any shape, manner or form. So I've advised Stuart of any jobs that are advertised, and if any applicants come in from with a Collins background, we seek their endorsement to proceed with them. So
they can't get the people who apply for or work with you, if they worked on Collins, can't get employment without the agreement of ASC?
No. It's not that at all. It's there are some key resources that ASC has identified for the support of the submarine. If you're a commercial advisor in the Collins program, there's no issues in that person transferring across.
So when you say you're going to notify them of people with Collins background...
It's a gentleman's agreement, Senator, that I have with Stuart, just to make sure that we're not taking anybody out of his organisation that he requires for Collins Sustainment.
So what other gentlemen's agreements do you have in regard to subcontracting arrangements with ASC for the building of the submarines?
None.
None. So the only area of gentlemen's agreement covers workers who might want to actually work for you who would have worked for ASC. Is that how it works?
Yeah, I think it's entirely appropriate, Senator, that we don't strip capability out of ASC. We've got a submarine, a Collins-class submarine that needs to be maintained and at sea. I don't think there's anything inappropriate with advising Stuart that, we may be hiring one of his people.
But no other subcontracting arrangements with ASC?
No, not at this stage, no.
Have there been any discussions with government about the policy implications of that?
Which policy implications, Senator?
Policy implications of not involving the ASC in any subcontracting arrangements for the future submarines project.
No, Senator.
Frankly, I'm a bit surprised that the ASC has no role at all in the building of the future submarines. Is that a formal decision that's been made by government, or is it a decision that the company's made?
There's been no formal decisions made by government at all, Senator.
So it was a decision by your company?
Yes, we've been tasked with designing and building the submarine, Senator. Yes.
A revelation.
Well, it's... Has the government indicate when they're intending to move the sustainment of ASC to Western Australia for the sustainment of Collins submarines?
I'm not aware of that, Senator.
You don't think it might have some implications for the ASC that they're not involved in the future submarine project? Some implication for the workforce of the ASC?
Again, Senator, I'm not involved in any discussions with the sustainment of Collins submarines.
But I mean, have you conveyed your decision to the ASC? Do they know that you have this view?
Yes, we've had very frank and open discussions with ASC.
What are you paying your architects?
I'd have to take that on notice. I'm not aware of all the wages that we're offering.
If you wouldn't mind, you've got these ads here. I'd be interested to know what the salary ranges are.
Sure, sure.